Today we have April the 1st, so it's the best way to test this kind of content. But seriously, I want to talk about the mundane astrology and why I've never drawn mundane chart. I was never super focused on those lectures, and I'm not really enthusiastic about this branch of astrology. So I need to step out of the teacher, the parampara shoes here, and just sharing my personal opinion or preference. So don't take this too seriously, but generally don't take anything too seriously. So the first thing is, what is the mundane astrology? It's all about those nations, about these conflicts and wars of a big nation. So it comes from Latin mundus, which is related to world, but mundane also can mean boring. So I will tell in few points what are my problems with this branch of astrology. And this is also interesting because this puts me in the middle. I'm too Rahu for Ketu communities and too much Ketu for the Rahu community. So for both, I'm a little bit troublemaker here. Because those arguments I use as my preference when it comes to mundane astrology, they could be used by opponents of astrology as a general branch. And if I make some big mistake in those assumptions, then I would also gladly learn from you. So you can write me in the comments, what are your views about that? If I'm taking anything wrong, then also let me know. We could start with the first point about the credibility issues. Like, there are also astrologers who are into stocks. And I'm always saying that if you are not driving Lamborghini, then I'm rather not going to your consultation. Because when we are talking about stock astrology, which is like a peak of manifestation, you are investigating something very tangible, and not only in quality, but what is even more difficult, something in the quantity. So if you are doing that, you are offering services. So it is expected that you are also getting some good results from it. And similar things could be related to the mundane astrology. When we see politicians, are they really having mundane astrologer who is... We know that in old time there was the stories about Hitler when he was always starting on a Saturday, things like that. But in modern times, they are politicians who are using astrology for the individual stuff. Also, a lot of celebrities are using, some of them more on entertainment part, but still. But when it comes to mundane astrology, are they really some serious political strategies which take into account astrological positions, things like that? I don't think so. Second point is, let's say, where are those successes? Where are those like astrologers have this credibility page when they are listed, those victories, how we predicted something. And that's true. Individual astrology, I'm still standing on that, is very effective when it comes to predicting something organic in some abstract way, but not too abstract to be not useful. We can still use those advices, we can follow them, and it has its part in our life. I still hope that there will come a time when astrology will have its revival. Maybe the AI will be helpful for that, or reverse, we will see. But going back to this point, if you had a big victories, if you had a big successes about the mundane astrology, right? And I'm not saying about the random things, because there are like thousands of astrologers and each of them is saying something that in this and that year something will happen, and sometimes you are just lucky. So you must also have some repetitive successes. If you have this, where are those pages with listed? Yes, in 2020 there will be a plague which will destroy many businesses. I would like to see those predictions. And also we can see that this mundane astrology is attracting people who are into global affairs of the world, and especially from the perspective of some archetypes. So a lot of generalization. Astrology is generally very generalized subject, but we still can get detailed predictions when we take those generalized or abstract broad things and we intersect them and find the common thing. So this is what we are teaching here on this channel, that by bringing a few broad things together, we can still get to something detailed. But if you are only operating on those abstract things, then it could be very illusionary that you got something, because the whole objects of which you predict, these nations, are very broad. So of course this will also attract people who are into conspiracy theories because they are into the global affairs, and also there is this illusion of catching something where in fact it is a bias. Let's say you say, oh, in 2027 there will be some conflict in, let's say, Germany. So you always can find that in some part of the country, yes, it was that conflict. I have predicted that. So you can see there is more space for justification. There is more space than the individual, right? Because here you have a lot of people, you have a lot of cities, a lot of groups. It is easier to justify what you have predicted. Also, this could be another way. You said that, yes, there will be end of war, there will be peace. So we can find some months, right? Because also you can say, you can predict in the years. There is also a problem with predictions. We will talk about that soon. So basically, if we make that point clear, it is about more space to justify things and basically be cheated by our own self. Now, as I said, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there are many technical problems with this, which part or which time we are taking as the start of this. Because for, when we are dealing with karma, then we are talking about the objective planets or points which are delivering the karma. So it's all kind of objective, and objective is the counter term would be something conventional, which was, or circumstantial. So the times when it all happens, when the countries were created, and even the boundaries, what is Poland, what is Germany, what is Ukraine, it is kind of circumstantial. It's very often a consequence or the outcome of discussion between some big heads of the countries. The times when something starts, this is also quite difficult. The independence or the constitutions. Also, is it really objective birth of a country? So I see my problem with that is also there, that it is a little bit breaking or stepping down from that level objectivity, which is, for example, the birth. So the philosophy, when we talk about only about the rational of astrology, that we are taking the starting point where you were born. This makes sense. You were born, there is start of your life. This is there is no discussion about where the starts come. And you as a soul, according to Vedic philosophy, due to reincarnation, are now taking that karma, and your karma is reflected in the sky. So it's much more logical here. So my Rahu level can accept that, but for mundane, it's a little bit too much. Most of the dashas are counted for 120, 144. So you can see it's around maximum longevity of human beings. For country, are we taking that? If the birth, 40 years, it's normally we have again voting, or are we taking the period? There is also this element of circumstantial. The circumstantial element is also creeping in the dasha calculation. Again, going back to philosophy, the astrological map or the sky is reflecting our karma. There are many axioms here. There are many assumptions you need to take into account, like there is a karma, there is a reincarnation, but it's coming from some body of knowledge. It's coming from some philosophy you may accept as a whole. There is some logic within that. Let's call it bubble, Vedic bubble of how the things works, or Vedic wisdom. But when we are talking about the karma now of a country, right? Because the astrology is showing the karma. We are talking the group karma, which is quite popular in the Buddhism. Here we are again a little bit loose on the logic. What karma we are measuring here when we are talking of countries. Of course, I'm aware that there are texts like Brihad Samhita. There is this Kurma Chakra about the countries. There are many things related to that. And I'm also aware that B.V. Raman was introducing that, and also in Western astrology, this mundane astrology, is quite popular because we love it, right? It has two, I think, important features. First is this overall effect. So the effect is multiplied because it's for many people. Also, this outcomes of what's happening there is we could call it impacting everything in our life. When there is a war, that war can impact your health, relationship, career, everything. So these two features, probably there are more, but these two are enough that this is quite popular, and everyone would like to hear from astrologer what will happen, if that would be possible. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm just saying that my Rahu has problem with it. It's like you have a computer and you are installing something, and then you have this window which says, are you really, is it secure? Do you want to allow it? Should we continue? So I have those boxes, right? I'm reading something about mundane astrology, and I have like, would you like to allow it to your system? No, it doesn't work. It's too much variables. They are all circumstantial, and we don't have any nice successes from this. All right, so I think this could be like part one. Maybe we will continue on that. Maybe in the next video I will be super convinced, and I will be maybe expert in mundane astrology, and I will be saying that I was in some bad dasha now. Let's see what will happen, and see you in the next one.